Joining us now on MSUEagles.com, the head baseball coach at Morehead State, Mike McGuire. A wild one at Cliff Hagan Stadium tonight in Lexington, and the Eagles get it done 6-4, a huge win. First victory over a nationally ranked opponent since 2007. Mike, just talk to us about what this means for the program.
Well, I think, number one, we want to play a good schedule in recruiting, and it's one thing to play them, it's another thing to beat them. And, to say you play nationally ranked teams and beat them certainly helps in recruiting as you're building a program. Certainly it's important, that we come out at, compete against the top teams in the country and have success, and certainly, that was big today.
A left-hander, Luke Schneider, started the game for you, actually came and faced a few batters after a rain delay in the middle of the 6th inning, but just assess his performance today. He just allows 1 run and 2 hits and 5 1/3 against the best hitting team in the SEC.
He did. He pitched phenomenally well. And Luke's capable of that. The big thing with Luke is, he only gave up 3 free passes on the day, and that's key for him. Earlier in the year when he was in our weekend rotation, he was struggling command a little bit, walking too many guys, and, they're a good club, very good club offensively. We wanted to make them earn everything they got today, and, he did a good job of that. We made some great plays behind him as well.
A right-hander, Craig Pearcy, actually gets credit for a save, his 6th of the year. I believe that's leading the team. 3 2/3 today. Just talk about the philosophy there, getting through all 9 innings with just 2 pitchers.
Well, obviously you never know how it's going to go, when the game starts. Certainly, when we had the rain delay, we considered our options there. Felt like, it was on the fringe of it's too long to bring a guy back, but they were left, right, left to start, in the batting order, and with Luke on the mound, we liked that matchup. We felt like that was better to just go back to him rather than go to the bullpen, because we may need one of those guys later. And then depending on how that went, we were just going to send Pearcy to the bullpen as soon as we resumed, and if we needed to go to him right away, we would, and that's the way it worked out. And certainly we have all the confidence in the world with Craig Pearcy on the mound.
Your leadoff hitter, Robbie Spencer, has been a pretty steady bat all season long, had a huge 2-run homer late in the game, and as you come to find out, you needed both of those insurance runs.
We did. Robbie's been swinging the bat well, and great thing about Robbie's a steady player. Great thing I love about Robbie is you can look out at shortstop and you don't know whether Robbie's 4 for 4 or 0 for 4. Pretty even keel player, and that was a big 2-run homer he hit right there. Gave us some insurance run at the time that we did not realize at the time that was the winning margin.
A team-high 3 hits today for DH Bobby Burns. You told me in the office the other day he's just been swinging the bat too well to be taken out of the lineup.
Well, that's just it. Bobby scuffled a little bit out of the gate, split some time. We were kind of bouncing around that DH spot between 2 or 3 guys, but Bobby got a hold of it again, and he hasn't let up, and he's having as good a bat as anybody on our club right now.
Last year, the record, not something you're proud of, 16-40. This year, 16-16, incredible turnaround. Just what would you say would be the difference between last year and this year? I know you added a lot of new players in the offseason, kind of your first full year in terms of the recruits that you want, but just what's been the difference in your mind as we're a little past halfway this season?
I think, one of the big things, obviously, is commitment, dedication to winning. I think, it's like Brandon Raw and Kane Sweeney both said, after the ball game, Kane Sweeney 0 for 4, Brandon Raw is 0 for 5, and they're both talking about how that's the best 0 for 4 I've ever had. And that's what you want as a coach. Selflessness out of your players. And I think we've bought in. We're certainly playing much better here the last 3 weeks, and I think it's it's about the team, and I think that's an important thing. Certainly we added some good parts. We're a little more athletic and a little more talented now, and certainly a lot deeper on the mound, and that's certainly helped us.
A very grueling non-conference stretch here this week. The road doesn't get any easier this weekend. You head to Bloomington to face a team that was in the College World Series last year, the Indiana Hoosiers, a 3-game set beginning Friday. Just kind of your thoughts on that 3-game series and trying to get a few wins down there.
Well, you're exactly right. It doesn't get any easier. They're playing as well as anybody in the country. They started preseason in the top 5 in the country. Struggled a little bit out of the gate. Not a huge surprise as a northern club. We went through some of that. You get outside and you haven't fielded many ground balls. It's tough sometimes, but they're playing really well. They swept Ohio State 2 weeks ago, swept Iowa this weekend. They're playing very well. We're going to have our hands full, but at the same time, we're going to get off the bus expecting to win, and we're going to compete.
Mike, we know how hard you and your coaches and all the players have been working, and we're proud of you. Congratulations on a big win tonight at Kentucky.
Thanks, Matt.
That's Mike McGuire, the head baseball coach at Morehead State. Morehead State wins tonight 6-4 over 12th ranked Kentucky. Back in action this weekend at Indiana.